Pain is a multifaceted experience involving both sensory and emotional components. It is crucial to differentiate between physical pain, which arises from bodily harm, and psychological pain, which stems from mental or emotional distress. Pain serves as a fundamental survival mechanism for organisms. It acts as an alert system, signaling potential threats to well-being. This signal prompts immediate protective behaviors aimed at mitigating harm. Therefore, pain is essential for survival, enabling individuals to avoid danger and protect themselves. Pain perception involves a complex network of neurological pathways. These pathways transmit signals from the site of injury to the brain. Specific brain regions are activated during pain processing. The anterior cingulate cortex, ACC, plays a role in the emotional aspect of pain. The insula is involved in the sensory and cognitive components of pain. Pain and pleasure centers are distinct regions within the brain. These centers are not isolated. They are interconnected through neural pathways. This interconnection allows for the modulation of one sensation by the other. The overlap in neural circuitry can sometimes lead to a confusion between pain and pleasure. This confusion can manifest in conditions where pain is perceived as pleasurable, or vice versa. Classical conditioning involves learning through association. A neutral stimulus becomes associated with a naturally occurring stimulus. This association leads to a conditioned response to the neutral stimulus. Associating a person with a stressful situation can create a strong emotional bond. Shared experiences of stress or pain can intensify feelings of connection. This bond is formed through the association of the person with the emotional response to the situation. Misattribution of arousal involves incorrectly identifying the source of one's physiological arousal. This theory suggests that arousal from non-romantic sources can be misconstrued as romantic attraction. For example, physiological responses to pain or stress might be attributed to feelings for another person. This misinterpretation can intensify perceived attraction, leading to potentially inaccurate romantic assessments. Social psychology explores how shared difficult experiences can foster closeness. A social experiment can demonstrate this phenomenon effectively. Participants undergoing a painful experience together often report increased attraction. This heightened attraction is attributed to shared vulnerability and reliance. The experiment highlights the power of shared hardship in building interpersonal bonds. Existentialism posits that suffering is an intrinsic part of human existence. Facing pain and adversity is not seen as purely negative within this philosophical framework. Instead, suffering is viewed as an opportunity for profound self-discovery. Through confronting hardship, individuals can gain a deeper understanding of themselves. This process allows for the clarification and prioritization of one's values and beliefs. Stoicism advocates accepting hardship as a path to resilience and character development. This philosophy emphasizes focusing on what one can control and accepting what one cannot. In relationships, a Stoic approach involves managing one's own reactions and expectations. It encourages partners to face challenges with reason and equanimity rather than emotional reactivity. This mindset fosters stronger, more resilient relationships built on understanding and acceptance. Evolutionary psychology suggests that forming strong bonds during crises offers survival advantages. Shared suffering during crises can significantly enhance group cohesion. Increased group cohesion improves the likelihood of collective survival. Stronger bonds facilitate cooperative behaviors essential for overcoming challenges. This mechanism highlights the adaptive role of social connections in adverse conditions. Some literature and films romanticize suffering and sacrifice as essential components of love. These narratives often perpetuate the notion that genuine love necessitates enduring pain. This portrayal can reinforce the idea that love is only profound if it involves significant hardship. Examples can be found across various genres, influencing cultural perceptions of relationships. Analyzing these examples reveals how media shapes expectations about love and sacrifice. Many mythological stories feature romantic relationships that require overcoming significant obstacles. These narratives often depict enduring trials as a necessary precursor to achieving romantic union. The trials serve as tests of character, commitment, and worthiness for both partners. Success in these trials ultimately validates and strengthens the bond between the individuals. Childhood experiences of emotional neglect or abuse can significantly shape future relationship patterns. These early experiences can create a subconscious tendency to seek relationships marked by pain and struggle. Individuals may unknowingly recreate familiar dynamics from their past in their adult relationships. This repetition can stem from a distorted sense of what is normal or deserved in interpersonal connections. Peer groups significantly shape individual perceptions of relationships. Unhealthy relationship dynamics can be normalized within peer circles. Jealousy and possessiveness may be misinterpreted as expressions of love. Frequent conflict can be mistakenly viewed as a typical relationship pattern. This normalization can lead to the acceptance of harmful behaviors in relationships. Anxious attachment is a style characterized by a deep-seated fear of abandonment and rejection. Individuals with this attachment style often crave intimacy and reassurance from their partners. They may exhibit clingy behavior and become overly dependent on their relationships. Those with anxious attachment are often drawn to partners who are emotionally unavailable or inconsistent. This attraction may stem from a subconscious desire to recreate familiar relationship dynamics. This pattern perpetuates a cycle of pain and longing, reinforcing their fears of abandonment. Fearful avoidant attachment is characterized by a strong desire for intimacy coupled with a profound fear of vulnerability. Individuals with this attachment style often crave close relationships, but simultaneously worry about being hurt or rejected. This internal conflict leads them to engage in relationships that are simultaneously exciting and painful. Their fear of vulnerability can manifest as reluctance to fully commit or open up emotionally to their partners. Trauma bonding is an emotional attachment arising from a pattern of abuse. This bond is strengthened through intermittent reinforcement, alternating between kindness and cruelty. The cycle of abuse typically involves stages of tension building, abuse, reconciliation, and calm. Periods of kindness create hope and dependency, making it difficult for the victim to leave. This manipulation reinforces the bond, trapping the victim in the abusive relationship. Trauma bonding often arises in relationships characterized by significant power imbalances. In these dynamics, one individual exerts control and dominance over the other. The victim may become increasingly dependent on the abuser for validation and a sense of security. This dependency is reinforced through cycles of abuse, devaluing, and intermittent positive reinforcement. The abuser manipulates the victim's emotional state, creating a distorted perception of reality. This manipulation strengthens the bond, making it difficult for the victim to leave the abusive relationship. Narcissism is characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance and a deep need for excessive attention and admiration. Individuals with narcissistic traits often lack empathy and exploit others to achieve their own goals. Narcissists may intentionally inflict emotional pain on their partners to maintain control within the relationship. This behavior serves to boost their ego and reinforce their perceived superiority over others. Machiavellianism is characterized by manipulation and exploitation of others. Individuals high in Machiavellianism often prioritize personal gain above all else. In relationships, this can manifest as strategic manipulation of a partner. Partners may be exploited emotionally or materially to serve the Machiavellian individual's needs. This behavior typically results in significant emotional distress for the manipulated partner. Psychopathy is characterized by a distinct cluster of personality traits. A core feature of psychopathy is a marked lack of empathy. Psychopaths also typically exhibit a deficiency in remorse or guilt. This absence of empathy and remorse can lead to exploitative behavior. Psychopaths may be capable of inflicting emotional pain on others without feeling guilt. In some cases, this can extend to inflicting physical pain as well. Confirmation bias is a cognitive tendency to favor information confirming existing beliefs. It can significantly distort one's perception of love. Individuals may selectively seek out instances where love involves suffering. These instances reinforce the pre-existing belief that love inherently requires hardship. Conversely, evidence contradicting this belief is often overlooked or dismissed. This selective focus creates a skewed understanding of love, emphasizing suffering over other aspects. The just world fallacy is a cognitive bias where people believe the world is inherently fair. This bias leads to the assumption that actions will inevitably result in deserved consequences. In relationships, the just world fallacy can cause individuals to believe they deserve the pain they experience. This belief can reduce the likelihood of seeking help, as they may see their suffering as justified. The sunk cost fallacy describes the tendency to continue investing in something because of prior investment. In relationships, this manifests as staying due to the time and effort already expended. Individuals may feel obligated to continue, even if the relationship is no longer fulfilling or healthy. This can lead to prolonged unhappiness as the focus shifts from future potential to past investment. unhealthy relationships can cause significant emotional pain. Individuals may develop coping mechanisms to deal with this pain. Maladaptive coping mechanisms are strategies that provide temporary relief but have harmful long-term consequences. Substance abuse is one example of a maladaptive coping mechanism. Self-harm is another example of a maladaptive coping mechanism. These mechanisms can worsen the underlying issues and create additional problems. Emotional suppression involves consciously inhibiting the outward expression of feelings. Suppressing emotions can paradoxically increase internal stress levels. This can lead to heightened psychological distress and anxiety. Increased stress makes it more challenging to overcome negative relationship patterns. Conditional self-worth is basing one's self-esteem on external validation. Individuals with conditional self-worth may constantly seek approval from others. This need for approval can make them vulnerable to emotionally abusive partners. Abusive partners may exploit this vulnerability by withholding or giving approval manipulatively. Low self-esteem can cause individuals to perceive themselves as unworthy of healthy relationships. This perception can lead to the belief that they do not deserve love and respect. Consequently, individuals with low self-esteem may be more inclined to accept mistreatment from others. They may tolerate unhealthy behaviors in relationships due to their diminished sense of self-worth. Codependency is a relationship dynamic where one person prioritizes the needs of others over their own. Codependent individuals often feel responsible for the well-being of their partners. This can lead to attraction towards partners who need rescuing or fixing. The cycle of enabling and resentment is perpetuated within these relationships. Codependency arises from a lack of clear and healthy boundaries in relationships. Without boundaries, individuals may become overly involved in others' problems and feelings. This over-involvement can lead to being taken advantage of as personal needs are neglected. The result is often emotional exhaustion and pain, stemming from the imbalance in the relationship. Avoidant attachment is characterized by a discomfort with closeness and intimacy in relationships. This discomfort often stems from a deep-seated fear of vulnerability and dependence on others. Individuals with avoidant attachment styles tend to create emotional and physical distance in their relationships. This distance is a defense mechanism to protect themselves from perceived threats to their independence. The distancing behavior can manifest as reluctance to share feelings or commit to long-term plans. Unintentionally, this behavior can inflict pain on partners who desire greater closeness and emotional connection. Passive-aggressive communication is a pattern characterized by indirect expressions of negative feelings. It often involves subtle actions or words that mask underlying anger or resentment. This communication style can create tension and confusion in relationships. Over time, passive aggression erodes trust and fosters resentment between individuals. The result is often emotional pain and unresolved conflict, damaging the relationship. Stonewalling is a communication pattern characterized by withdrawal from interaction. It involves one partner ceasing to respond or engage in the conversation. This behavior often manifests as silence, avoidance, or emotional detachment. Stonewalling can make the other partner feel ignored and invalidated. It creates a sense of emotional abandonment, damaging the relationship. Consistent stonewalling can erode trust and intimacy between partners. Jealousy in relationships often stems from underlying feelings of insecurity. These insecurities can manifest as excessive worry about the partner's loyalty or attraction to others. Unchecked jealousy may lead to controlling behaviors aimed at monitoring or restricting the partner's actions. Such behaviors and the constant suspicion can cause significant emotional distress for both individuals in the relationship. Possessiveness in relationships is characterized by an excessive need to control and dominate a partner. It often manifests as jealousy, suspicion, and attempts to restrict a partner's independence. This behavior can stifle individual growth by limiting personal freedom and exploration. The constant control and monitoring can create a sense of suffocation and resentment within the relationship. Ultimately, possessiveness undermines trust and healthy communication, leading to relationship instability. Controlling behaviors involve one person attempting to dominate another in a relationship. These behaviors often manifest as manipulation, intimidation, or coercion. Such actions create a power imbalance, where one partner has significantly more control. This imbalance undermines the autonomy and self-worth of the controlled partner. The controlled partner may experience feelings of fear, anxiety, and helplessness. Ultimately, controlling behaviors can escalate into emotional abuse, causing long-term psychological harm. Self-awareness is crucial for identifying unhealthy relationship patterns. It involves understanding one's own motivations within relationships. Self-awareness also means recognizing personal vulnerabilities in relationships. This understanding facilitates breaking negative cycles. Ultimately, self-awareness promotes healthier relationship dynamics. Therapy provides a structured environment for individuals to address and process past traumatic experiences. A key goal of therapy is to help individuals understand the impact of trauma on their current functioning. Therapy assists in developing healthier and more adaptive coping mechanisms to manage distress. Effective therapeutic interventions can reduce reliance on maladaptive coping strategies. Through successful processing and coping, therapy aims to enhance self-esteem and promote overall well-being. Setting healthy boundaries is crucial for maintaining emotional well-being in relationships. Boundaries define personal limits and protect individuals from emotional harm. Healthy boundaries help prevent emotional exhaustion and resentment. Establishing boundaries promotes mutual respect and understanding in relationships. Clear boundaries foster healthier, more balanced, and sustainable connections with others. Healthy communication involves actively listening to understand the speaker's perspective. Empathy is crucial, requiring one to recognize and share the feelings of others. Assertive expression of needs allows individuals to state their requirements clearly and respectfully. Avoid aggressive or passive communication styles to maintain a balanced dialogue. Practicing these skills fosters stronger relationships and reduces misunderstandings. Self-care activities are essential for breaking negative cycles and promoting well-being. Exercise is a beneficial self-care activity that improves physical and mental health. Mindfulness practices enhance self-awareness and reduce stress. Spending time with supportive friends and family provides emotional support and strengthens relationships. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect between partners. Mutual respect involves valuing each other's opinions and feelings. It also includes respecting each other's personal boundaries. Respectful interactions foster trust and strengthen the relationship. Trust is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, providing a sense of safety and security. It enables individuals to be vulnerable and open with each other, fostering deeper connections. Consistent reliability and honesty build trust over time, strengthening the relational bond. Without trust, relationships can become strained, insecure, and prone to conflict and breakdown. Open and honest communication is a cornerstone of healthy relationships. It fosters intimacy by creating a safe space for vulnerability and sharing. Honest dialogue allows partners to understand each other's needs and perspectives. Constructive conflict resolution becomes possible through transparent communication. Addressing issues openly prevents resentment and strengthens the relationship's foundation. Shared values and goals are fundamental to building strong, healthy relationships. These shared elements create a sense of purpose and connection between individuals. When partners align on core values, they are more likely to support each other's aspirations. This alignment fosters mutual respect and understanding, leading to greater relationship satisfaction. Healthy relationships prioritize supporting each other's personal development. Encouraging individual aspirations fosters a stronger bond. Mutual support enhances self-esteem and confidence within the relationship. Growth-oriented relationships adapt and evolve positively over time. Hormones play a role in the complex processes of attraction and bonding. Dopamine is associated with pleasure and reward, influencing initial attraction. Oxytocin is linked to social bonding, trust, and the formation of attachments. These hormonal influences contribute to the multifaceted experience of attraction. It is important not to oversimplify attraction, as emotional experiences are complex and varied. Vulnerability is essential for building deep, meaningful connections. Emotional intimacy requires sharing vulnerabilities with others. Shared vulnerability fosters trust and understanding between individuals. Vulnerability should be shared in a safe and supportive environment. A supportive environment encourages open communication and mutual respect. Media literacy involves critically analyzing media portrayals of love and relationships. These portrayals can significantly shape individual expectations about relationships. Media narratives often present unrealistic or idealized versions of love. This can lead to skewed perceptions and beliefs about real-life relationships. Critical thinking helps deconstruct these media-driven expectations. Understanding media influence promotes healthier relationship perspectives and behaviors. Navigating relationship challenges can be significantly easier with support. Seeking help from friends provides emotional comfort and different perspectives. Family members can offer valuable insights and unconditional support. Support groups create a community of individuals facing similar issues. Sharing experiences in a group setting can reduce feelings of isolation. Seeking support is a proactive step towards resolving relationship difficulties. This script highlights key elements for building strong relationships. While shared struggles can sometimes strengthen bonds, they are not the foundation of a healthy relationship. Healthy relationships are primarily built on mutual respect between individuals. Trust is another crucial element, fostering a sense of security and reliability. Open communication is essential, allowing partners to express needs and resolve conflicts constructively rather than through pain and suffering.